That's way better. Yeah, that's the vibe. Okay. During this short period of time, 4 to 7 minutes, we're going to be talking about the Chinese Communist Revolution. In 1949, from my understanding, is when China became a communist government. In 1949, a movement called the Chinese Communist Revolution came to an end with the passing of the very first communist government. This journey took nearly 90 years to accomplish, but once it had finally met its end, the majority of China was on board with the decision to change the government's political views. The Chinese Communist Party was established in 1866 in Shanghai. Chinese communists joined forces with the Nationalist Army in 1926 after Sun Yat-sen, the original founder of the Communist Party in China, died 1 year prior to lung cancer. But the relationship between the two parties didn't last all that long. On April 12, 1927, an event that is now known as the Shanghai Massacre. On April 12, 1927, an event that is now known as the Shanghai Massacre occurred, in which the nationalist... Buddha, stop. On April 12, 1927, an event that is now known as the Shanghai Massacre occurred, in which the Nationalist Party killed the Communist Party due to the difference in beliefs between the two groups. In 1928, a man named Mao Zedong continued the communistic movement into the nowadays communist government with some of his colleagues that survived the massacre. There were three main priorities for China during this time period: national unity, independence, and social reform. The main thing that not had initially did not allow all three of these priorities to be met were things called local warlords. Local warlords are basically tribe leaders that led an area of land. These warlords were expanding at a rapid pace in China, increasing their social authority, gaining tons of power just due to the simple fact that they owned some land, which is something that sounds crazy, but which, in my opinion, is something that it sounds crazy at the moment, at least for our government. The lower class of China began to look for answers to get out of their horrendous situation that was basically slavery to your own people, since the warlords would run harvesting sites for profit. The lower class found out about something called Marxism from Russia. Marxism is the practice of these two guys' beliefs, one man named Karl Marx and the other named Frederick Engels, in which both of them played a big role in modernizing communism. The practice of Marxism is exactly what the lower class was looking for. It was a great opportunity for equal rights for the lower, mid, and upper class. In order for communistic way of life to spread across China, many people participated in strikes and would spread the word by mouth. Once Russia heard of China's possible change of government, political writings were written, translated, and sent into China to the leaders of these communistic groups. Since China and Russia were both aware of this revolution, they then became more lenient on transportation between the two countries for easier access to scribes and information. Now that part, I'm not entirely sure is true, because some things I saw said that China was on board with it, and then some things I saw China wasn't so into wanting that. That could have been just the higher classes overruling the lower class. But if the military decided to get involved in any of the strikes, which was quite often, Mao used guerrilla tactics. The way guerrilla tactics works is you would arm civilians and spread out in many small groups using brute force to get what they wanted. Ultimately, he learned these things from the Chinese historic readings, allowing the Communistic Party to win the civil war that was in the making. This would ultimately allow the Communistic Party to peak in national acceptance. There was even a strike where nearly 80,000 people died during a 6,000-mile march, which is now seen by the communists as a sense of destiny, the will to push anything that you believe is worthwhile doing. The majority of the leaders alive in the 80s and 90s for the Communistic Party were some of the 20,000 who survived the march. These leaders would be running the PRC, the People's Republic of China. Since China was now considered a free China, Mao stepped down from the presidency of communism, but kept his power in the group. Ultimately, Mao would die in 1976 from a heart attack, but still lies in the hearts of many Chinese communists.
That's all, folks.